Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. This is your boy, Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. WPC, and who am I with, as always? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod, episode 235. Thank you for calling Earth. How can we help you? Welcome, motherfuckers.
What's up, man?
What it do?
How are you?
Good. I forgot about last week whenever the pod stopped recording because of due to lack of space.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if I cleared up enough space, if it's gonna happen again. I just thought about it as I was doing the intro, and that's why I wasn't as enthusiastic.
It happens. I mean, we'll make do.
We will.
With our always. Haven't we always? Shit.
What kind of shirt is that you're wearing there?
Okay. So, this is gonna be random as shit.
Well, lift it up because I can't see all of it.
So,
is that your mom and when she adopted you?
no. This is actually an adopted baby with a mom.
It is an adopted baby?
Yeah. So one of my favorite television shows of all time is one of the OG, hold on. How did that happen? It's one of the OG Adult Swim cartoons. It's called Home Movies. It's about this kid and his friends, and they make shitty movies. This is his mom, though originally voiced by Paula Poundstone.
Shut up.
Before Paula Poundstone, got in trouble for being all fucked up and driving around with kids in the car. In the television show, her husband is voiced and played by Louis C.K.
Nice.
This is Pootie Tang Louis C.K. Eugene.
What's the show called?
Home Movies. H. John Benjamin, who is famous for Bob's Burgers, Archer, those shows. He plays a soccer coach named Coach McGurk on Home Movies, which is an iconic character. I mean, it's one of the it'd be top 10 original edgy adult cartoons, but the animations were really shitty. It was really shitty looking. It's very niche, very it's a pretentious cartoon to like. It's my favorite, arguably probably my favorite television show of all time.
Pretentious?
It's not in this, I mean, maybe not pretentious, but it is kind of stuffy in the sense that did you ever watch Dr. Katz? Dr. Katz?
Nah, man, I'm a dog person, you know what I'm saying? And there's also a Boston Terrier who's wrapped around my back right now that you can't see, and it's every episode. Look at this.
Okay, well, Dr. Katz was an adult cartoon that came out back in the day, and it was about therapy doctor, Dr. Katz, and he would interview.
Katz.
Yep.
I think I've heard of this.
He would interview. He was a therapist, and the people he would be in therapy. There's Dave Chappelle, Ray Romano, Janine Garofalo, a lot of old school stand-up comics.
I've seen it. Yeah.
So it'd be the stand-up bits. So his son in that show is played by H. John Benjamin, who's also the voice of Bob from Bob's Burgers, Sterling Archer from Archer. Probably considered one of the best. He used to have a TV show called John Has a Van, and it was on Comedy Central. I'd say it's pretentious because it's all conversation.
The guys who made Archer made, I think it's just one season, but maybe more, and it's Elvis. He's a secret agent, so it's the same animation style as Archer. But it's as if Elvis worked for the CIA, and he's so he's just kicking ass, but he's also Elvis.
Yeah. So
it'd be Batman meets Elvis.
So even before that,
that's a good show. I'm just saying, highly recommend.
No, all that team has a lot of projects that they did, and before they did Archer, before they did the Elvis show, which you're talking about, they had a show called Frisky Dingo. and it was about this guy coming from outer space. He's here to destroy the planet. Um, but he's also running. He runs for president. It's like they're just very they're very conversational driven, very like improv at certain moments, but like highbrow conversational humor. So it's like some people can watch it and absolutely fucking hate it because it's not, the jokes are kind of, can be like witty in like a conversational sense. The animation looks like crap, so it's not visually appealing. You have to like enjoy listening to it, and that's probably like my favorite TV show. So this is a picture of Mrs. Small and then his adoptive sister Josie. Um,
And does that
fantastic
speak?
show.
Does that
Fantastic show.
speak to you?
No, I have a couple home movie shirts. It's a good show. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a really funny, good show that always kind of like, it just makes sense because there'll be parodies. Each episode has a movie that they're making, so they like parody off stuff that's actually going on. It's just very interesting, and Coach McGurk's legendary. So one time I was out at some like food festival, and sometimes I have some people who walk up and will be like, dude, that home movie shirt is fucking awesome. I'm like, thank you so much. Because it's not something that people know what it is, or if you know what it is, you probably like it or you hate it. There's no in between. And this is early late 90s. So I mean, it's not like something that we were watching. I want to say Felix. If anybody got me into it, it was probably Felix. And it's just one of the random things he would just download, and I just got addicted to it. So, but it is a random ass shirt. I had somebody be like, "That shirt's so artsy and cool. Love the symbolism behind it." I was like, "Okay, like thanks." But it's definitely, if you like those types of shows, definitely worth checking out. And if you, you know, that's people, you, when you watch it, there's
Well,
so
Poundstone is super funny. Louis C.K. is super funny, so I would assume it's super funny.
Mitch Hedberg. Do you know who Mitch Hedberg
Oh
is?
fuck yeah!
Mitch Hedberg was helped write, and he has reoccurring roles on that show. And a lot of it is like improv, or like they're just having these conversations back and forth.
And then
And
they
it's a bunch of
animate
like,
it.
yeah, a bunch of like just really funny early comedians in the early like 90s, early 2000s being like, we have no budget. Let's make like a total conversation, low budget driven show. And 4 seasons, like 52 episodes, I think. Uh, but yeah, that's where the shirt's from. It's from Home Movies. Shout out.
Okay, so I just wanted to mention this. In the top 45 countries that listen to us, included are Pakistan, that has been a mediator in this Iran war, Oman, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Israel. All of these countries are some of the top listeners of this podcast. And I just want to know how they feel that the United States owns the Strait of Hormuz now. How do you feel, Joseph?
Owns the Strait of Hormuz.
The United States does. Trump said so.
I'm sure they're stoked.
He also said that there's been millions of gallons of oil going out every day the way they're doing it. It's insane. What the fuck is happening? And he said he was going to bomb Oman, who's also a mediator. So Oman and Pakistan are mediators. And also Pakistan has a nuke, and I think they put it was either Saudi Arabia or Iran. I think it's Saudi Arabia under their nuclear umbrella. But it could have been Iran. Anyways, point is, it's like, uh, like I just wanted to mention how stupid Trump is. Like he goes out there, he's like, pretty soon I'm gonna announce that we own the Strait of Hormuz. It's like, bro, you're the one who would announce that. Like it's not like you're gonna go through a process that you need to get approval from. You're just gonna claim this, and so it's like you're announcing that you're gonna announce it. You're an idiot. And I just wanted to let all those countries know, since they are listening, that we also think he's an idiot.
Yeah, big facts.
Oh, Lebanon, I forgot, is also in the top 45.
Let's go, dude.
I
They're
know, but I'm just
down
saying,
to
like,
cold
at
hard facts.
and Ukraine and Russia are also in there in a separate war, but it's also getting involved. And yeah, did you hear this? North Korea is sending 50,000 motherfucking troops over to the front lines of the Ukrainian war. Wild. We're like worried about
How
like
many of them like run away and just don't come back?
they won't because then they'll kill their entire family.
That's true.
Uh,
If so, would you?
I think the Ukrainians captured two of them. Um, and wouldn't release like their names so that they wouldn't get kill their families, but they like it wasn't like they gave themselves up, but they like captured two and then like saved them basically. This is okay. I should say Russia had originally sent 10,000 North Korean troops about like a year ago. And everybody's like, what the fuck? And then they actually were like in the fighting. And then now it's like, and also they're sending ammunition and the amount it's like millions of rounds of this like a particular artillery shell, I think, and it's like it's some crazy percentage of what Russia uses. It's like without North Korean weapons, like Russia might this war might have been over a while ago in Ukraine's favor.
Yeah, I mean Russia's struggling. I mean, we just saw them Ukraine drone attack that factory. Like they're just taking out like
Well, no, yeah, so so they keep hitting these wild berry factories. So wild berries is the Amazon of Russia. And but they're also using these so it'd be like as if like we went to war against Canada, which sounds crazy except for Trump. But like and then we did this actually in World War II. Like there was no cars like automobiles made in the United States from like 1942 to like 1945 because we turned all the car factories into like tank factories.
yeah,
And
ammunition
so they're
factories.
right, so they're using these Amazon like type warehouses to help supply the war effort. And so Ukraine is bombing these like over and over these like factories. And then last night they sent in fucking 1,700 drones, like 1,200 fucking missiles, and like I forget there's another projectile that they sent maybe like I forget, but Russia intercepted 800 of the drones overnight, right? And they're like kind of almost in a bragging sense. They sent 1,700, dude. Fucking 900 drones hit Moscow and all over Russia last night, just burning up buildings, burning up like a medical supply center in Moscow that like supplies for the troops. They've cut off the supply lines for like the Russians. Crimea's out of power. The Black Sea Fleet's like out. And then like you have like I was just watching I've been watching Tucker Carlson lately, and then like him and Tucker went over to Russia, like, and did some propaganda bullshit, talked about how the grocery stores were so amazing, which is actually funny because Boris Yeltsin, who was like the first Russian president after the USSR, like,
Yeah,
yeah, famously an alcoholic when he was down here. I forget if it was in New York or Washington. Um, he came downstairs from his hotel room like in the middle of the night, drunk, naked, fully naked, trying to get a pizza. And this dude is the current president. That like he was trying to get a cab to get a pizza or some shit. Um, he was just wasted all the time, but like people thought he was a puppet of the United States. But famously, he went to one of our grocery stores and he was like bedazzled by like Jello pops or something like that. Like he was just like he went back to like the USSR. It's like, dude, we're doing it all wrong. So like specifically a grocery store, the president of Russia was like hyping up the United States. Tucker goes over to Russia. It's like, oh, their grocery stores are just so clean. And then Greenwald, who used to be on the Intercept, and he was the one who was like breaking the Snowden stories. He's been like kind of caught up like as maybe like what like involved with Russia. And so these two guys are over there and they're talking about how the Russia conspiracy is like kind of, fake. Um, but it's just but also that we're all believing this narrative that Russia's losing the war. And it's like, no, dude, like they first of all, how have they not already lost the war? If we've lost the war in Iran, right? We lost 14 we had 14 soldiers die. um, and like hundreds injured, right? And we've already determined we've lost a war because we have. The Strait of
Talking
Hormuz is no
about
longer.
like leaving bases, reducing
It,
our footprint in the Middle East, like getting like we're
the
yeah,
objectives we didn't do anything that we were supposed to do, right? The nuclear material is still there, the regime change is still there, they still have all their ballistic missiles, right? And it's gotten worse. And then now they have the Strait of Hormuz is shut down. If they didn't, so if we've lost the war, which I agree we did, Russia's definitely lost the war. If they thought they were going to take it in fucking 72 hours, here we are 5 years later. They've lost already over 1 million people. They're losing 35,000 troops a fucking month, and they not above replaceable levels, obviously. And now they're getting North Koreans to come in and fight for them. But also, like, how's that not a world war? We have Ukraine blowing up Iranian like shadow fleet tankers. Iran supplying drones to Russia to like flying up apartment buildings in Ukraine, and then now North Korea is sending in 50,000 troops to fight in Ukraine. Wild.
yeah. It's not
And
ideal for them. And the drone
Zelensky
attacks, the way the creative ways in which Ukraine's attacked these plants, use these drones to
to blow up their oil infrastructure, like
all sorts of shit.
25% of oil. Yeah, it's all offline. They don't have a navy, and Russia can't use their fucking navy. It's crazy. They've sunk like half their ships. Like not maybe not half, but like the entire Black Sea fleet is gone. Like they've either sunk it or they've moved it. And yeah. The thing is they're out of the Patriot intercept missiles that we have, which are like the air defense missiles. Which the whole thing is like they cost like $4 million each, and these Shahed drones that Iran's providing cost like 20, $30,000. So you're taking out a $30,000 drone with the $4 million missile. It's like, eventually that doesn't, the math doesn't work there. But they work with Russia because they're also sending in ballistic missiles and cruise missiles and hypersonic missiles. And so basically Zelensky said, if you let us purchase 10% of the stockpile of the Patriot missiles the United States has, that they could end this war. And all they want to do actually just license the technology, and then they want to start manufacturing itself themselves. But that'd still take a couple years. But Trump's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to let him do that. It's like, what are you talking about? Like these missiles aren't like to go fire into Russia. They're to stop missiles from going into fucking schools in Ukraine.
Yeah, Trump's an idiot.
Yeah,
Which we'll get into some of that later in articles.
right.
How are you?
Things are good. Um, I'm continuing my online poker journey where I'd like to see what I can do with the $15 and without ever having to like redeposit. And it's insane. Like I'm still on this 50, I haven't cashed out yet. Like the bankroll's like at 50, but like the house takes like the games that I'm playing, so it's really slow, small stakes. One's a $3.50 buy-in, the other's a $7 buy-in, and like the rake that they take is like one's like 30 cents, one's like 50 cents or something, right? So it's like less than $1 for each one, like if those two games combined, and I'm usually playing them at the same time. Like just this week uh the house, the casino, has made $75 in rake off of me, just 20 cents at a time, or 20 or 30 cents at a time, of how many times I've played. Like I've gone through hundreds and hundreds of dollars played off of this $15, but the bankroll's at 50 right now. If if that makes sense. Like I've won and lost, but like and played that many games off this specific round of $15
Yeah,
that just since Friday morning till right now they've made $75 in rake
off of you playing.
off of me playing. And I only started with 15 and I have 50. So they've made money, I've made money. and it's crazy. And it's the original 15 that I've cashed out like the $600 from. It's wild.
Oh, well, there you go. Keep it
The
up,
turn
man.
is crazy.
You've
Right. It's
been
like
going strong on it though.
without the rake, like, it's like, but
Or would you be?
exactly. Especially like I think about that too with like live poker without the rake and tipping the dealers. Like, I guarantee you, like it like because it's exponential. Because like if you have two more chips in your stack and you go all in, then you're gonna get two more than you would have than before. Now you have four more, and then if you go all all in again, then you got eight more. And so it's like you think about like a chip is nothing, but every time you're tipping the dealer, that's one last chip in your stack that you have to get another chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does kind of add up. I keep in my poker tracker, I keep track of the tips that I throughout the session. I don't obviously you don't tip online, but
Yeah, that'd be weird. I don't even know how
yeah.
that'd work. Although, so what are your thoughts on all this crazy like stake poker shit where they have like blackjack with like naked people or all that weird shit? Have you seen that where they have the live dealers and they people are betting online or doing
I've seen
blackjack poker or stuff like that?
I've seen a live dealer online. I couldn't believe that it was actually live. Like I pulled it up. Um, I might have played a hand, I don't know, but and got out, but it was just weird. Yeah, it was like a dude in an actual casino sitting there waiting for me to like somebody to log into the table.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that? Is that just too weird for you to do? You don't trust it?
Oh, I don't really play blackjack. The only time I played blackjack like was when I lived in Santa Monica and my roommate and I were like, um we're on, Fifth and Santa Monica Boulevard, like, the most like bougie part of America you could possibly imagine, and just doing like you know, designer drugs, and this was the month that that I ran through up $20,000 playing poker and profit and got banned from the site and from Cash App. But we were doing we would play blackjack, high stakes, online, but not with a live dealer. That's the only time I'd ever play blackjack.
Yeah, I never got into it. Blackjacks.
I just like, to me it's like because I'm like so established in poker, it's like it doesn't make sense for me to go try to like play blackjack, and that, even though it is the best odds you can get at a casino, it's like 49%, 51 house favor, but I'm not trying to play against the house. I'm trying to play against other players because the house always wins, right?
Yeah. But that's why I like rolling dice is because it is everybody versus the house, and I enjoy
I know,
that.
unless you bet they don't pass the line.
Yeah, then
You're
you're a
always
piece
playing
of
against the
shit.
house. The
No,
casino,
I
the
know, but it's like
slot
we're
machines against
all,
the house.
but like you're everybody's in it together, and you can play the board without having to
No,
actually
no,
roll. Like,
I like being around a craps table. I don't know about playing it.
hmm.
I need to learn more.
Yeah, craps is probably my favorite.
No, yeah, definitely. I was telling someone the other day about because they're saying they only play like craps, I think, or roulette, one or the other.
Yeah,
And I was saying like how I rolled dice in high school, but then I went to a trade show for work, and the homie the Tiger Khalid, shout out, former guest of the pod. He I walked up on him and like he's just wearing flip flops and like jorts, and he's Afghani, but and he's got like his full beard, like just but then like I walk up and there's this like commotion at the craps table, and he's the one who's running it. He's got like eight different bets. He's telling all the fucking people who work there like which ones he needs to get moved, when he gets paid, like, like I was like, whoa, I did not even know it was like this. And so so it made it more exciting, but at the same time, it made it be like I'm not qualified to go up there and handle the I can roll dice, but like to be able to command the table like he was, I want to get to that level before I step in.
yeah. I mean, it's not command the table.
I know you don't have to, but the
Well,
way
but
he did
even
it,
then, you're not really like commanding the table, like because it
no,
is like a
he
group
was
thing.
commanding his bets, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. You can command your own stuff.
right, and he was doing a lot.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, that's those guys are always. I kind of roll my eyes at them. Like,
No, he but like
let me get 15 on hard eight. Let me
no,
get.
it wasn't like that. It felt sophisticated, and he was winning.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can win more money playing the board, and never touching the dice than you can win
But like
just as much.
you can play the board and touch the dice, right?
Yeah, so you can
Yeah,
bet and
that's
then
what he was doing.
yeah. So you can set yourself up and then roll, see what you get, and then after that, place your bets where you want on the board, call for certain things, and then you cycle through. It's a lot of
But like
fun.
just like but like just the decisions to make, like where which one hit, and then like sometimes do you want to keep it what you just made,
Yeah.
keep it
Carry,
riding,
yeah, let it ride
or you want to take that, like just there's a lot of decisions to be made and a lot of people involved, and so like I don't want to be like, it's like even a blackjack table. So like, I think I've got it now for the most part, but like when you're there, you don't want to make a stupid like hit or something that fucks up the whole like the next succession of cards. Like people are relying on you to make the right decision on blackjack too, right? You're because you're all kind of playing against the dealer. So it's like if somebody's like, fucking, doubles down on a fucking, a seven or something, like, or it's, the whole table's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I
You,
got you.
right. So,
Well, yeah, you can
even,
piss people
and
off at.
that's a lot less intricate than a fucking craps table.
Yeah, like I think I told the story where one of the last times I was rolling craps, there was some kid who kept voting the do not pass line the entire
Love it.
time when I started
Love it.
rolling because everybody before me lost, crapped out. Nobody was making any money. It was my turn. This dude was being a piece of shit, and he's like, "Oh no, fuck this guy!" Like said that out loud, and then started playing the do not pass line, and I watched him lose like $1,500 because I was just
That's the
like hit,
best.
and then everybody else, and then finally he jumped on the wagon. He won his money back that he lost, then got a little bit, and then I ended up crapping out. But everybody made so much money off of me rolling. They were like, "Hey, it's cool, bro," and he was like, "My bad, man." Like it's one of those like where like, is this person gonna do good? I'm all about the table. If it doesn't seem like the action's good and it's all wonky, I'll walk away. Um, but yeah, that one's a lot of fun. Like some of my best gambling moments, or I mean, I guess all of them are pretty much at the craps table, especially if it's like really busy and you've got a good like 20, 25 people and there's 10 or 12 of y'all playing, but everyone's friends are there. You guys
Yeah.
all get into it. Everybody's freaking out when you hit your numbers. It becomes such a communal
Right.
thing that it's a lot of fun. The energy is high on craps. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
It's high
And,
group energy like roulette.
and see, and that's what I want to get to. I want to go play in a big tournament in Vegas, and then when you get to the final table, it's like that. Then you got people watching. You got, then it's high stakes. Then it's like performative.
Well, well, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Well, I'm glad you're still enjoying and going on your
My the
Chris Moneymaker online poker journey.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's the I knew like a corner would be turned eventually, and it's like clearly happened.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Time for therapy questions. Yeah. Therapy question number one. If Earth had one customer service representative, who gets the job?
I mean, you'd want them to be nice,
Right.
obviously. So there's some people.
But also competent.
So there's some people that you could think of. Obviously, there's like the low lying fruit. Morgan Freeman would be good.
No,
Despite what you think,
he's
that
old.
yeah, but he's got that soothing voice, so he'd keep you calm. He wouldn't get too worked up, even if he
But
did.
I need him to know like to be like on his P's and Q's, like ready to go.
I think he would be.
Mm,
I don't see why not.
I don't think Morgan Freeman.
That'd just be that's like I think that's a easy pick. If you were to poll people, that's one of the top 10 people would pick for this question.
Doubt it. Maybe if it was like an AI, like what kind of voice do you want or something. But I'm talking about actual who's gonna get the job done the best.
Hmm.
Like who just articulates.
Oh, Obama. Obama would crush it. He'd crush. So Earth custom. He would be fantastic.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He gets on my nerves, but yes. I mean, I like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and obviously it's smart,
I
but
thought
it's
you
like,
were the black Neil deGrasse
but it's
Tyson
like,
though.
but it's like we get it, dude. We get it. You're smart. Like I get it.
You think he's pretentious?
Yes, everything is profound with him. Everything. It's
Well,
just like
he's
okay.
talking about the most profound things on in the
I
universe.
know, but come on, man. He just gets on my nerves. Um, I feel like that's a popular thing. I think he gets on a lot of people's nerves
The NDDT.
because he's not. It's like it was cool at first, and now it's just getting old. Like it's like I don't know.
I disagree. I subscribe to Star Talk, his podcast, and he's just I don't think it's actual. That's like kind of like what's his name? Eric Michael Tyson. He's like the like Reverend like liberal. I think he ran for the Green Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he speaks like very like a black preacher, like and it's like, okay, dude, like you could have said that sentence in like a less like
It's like
insane way. But like I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't like that. I think he's genuine. But he's also got like an ego. Like he's on
yeah,
TV all
that's
the
what I'm saying.
time.
His ego's gotten like out of control.
I don't know about out of control, but it's there.
Yeah, yeah, it's out of control. Um, he is his biggest fan.
You better be. You better be your biggest fan, because if you're not your biggest fan, who the fuck's gonna be?
All the people that were your fans
Nah, dude.
before.
Nah.
Um, Jesse Ventura. That would be a
Okay.
good one. That would be good. He'd be on it. He would be
Yeah.
coming up with ways to like troubleshoot problems. I mean, because it's a customer service representative, right? So I don't know what the customer service you need is.
Who
Is it for us here, or is it from people from space coming to Earth? Like, is he
did
there?
yeah, well, didn't they used to call Obama the explainer in chief or something like that? Or was that someone else? Like um so yeah, yeah, maybe him. I'm trying to think.
I never heard that.
Um
It's probably said by like a racist guy.
no, no. What about like Doris Kearns Goodwin? She's like the lady, she's a historian.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about now.
What about
Um
Louis Anderson?
no. What about
Talk about a wild time. There was a time where if you missed school, you would be at home and you would watch Family Feud, and Louis Anderson would be hosting the Family Feud, like super coked out, just like, show me socks. And you're just like, holy shit, who is this guy? This guy's
it's like
insane.
like whatever, like the dude who's the original guy, like Richard Dawson, like who would like
Yeah.
kiss them all on the cheek, like that dude wasn't on blow. He just knew how to handle it. He was an adult.
Yeah. And then they did a hard pivot and they did the guy, Mr. Peterman from Seinfeld. He was the host of the Family Feud for a while after
Really?
Louis Anderson. Yeah, and then they shifted to Steve Harvey because Steve Harvey's the host of everything
Well,
now.
yeah. Was there not anybody in between? Oh no, no, I'm thinking of Drew Carey. Price is Right.
Yeah, Drew Carey, Price is Right. Wayne Brady's got what? What's it? Let's make a deal.
But he also had like a singing one. He's
It's
had a few.
yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, Steve
How do
Harvey wouldn't be a bad
I'm
pick.
thinking about a female.
Female, Nancy Grace. Boom,
Yeah.
boom. No, she'd be the supervisor. She'd be who they'd transfer you to.
Heather Cox Richardson, another historian.
So you're going with like these historians and
Yeah, I
stuff.
know, but they're like out in the media, especially Heather Cox Richardson. She's on every podcast, and she's like talking about like how she's like explaining how what's happening today happened.
Caroline Levitt. Bam.
I just Scott Jennings, he's floating. I
Scott.
don't know if he's floating his name, because Caroline Levitt, the White House press secretary, she just said that she's stepping down, and I just saw Scott Jennings say that he thinks because either he's floating his own name or his name's actually getting floated to replace her. He thinks that she was the best White House press secretary we've had in the last 30 years at least, and which is insane. And it's like
It
really
also said
because
his lawyer, his in federal trial, Elena Hobbit,
yeah, yeah, she's also in the running.
because she was spotted at
She was the one who got like
partying.
$1 million fine for bringing a frivolous law case or a civil case like against or no criminal case against it was either James Comey or Letitia James.
Yeah.
Like she was like not like they had to fire the fucking district attorney because they wouldn't bring the fucking stupid case. And then so then they got Elena Haba and like she wasn't even like allowed to bring this case you know her qualifications and it was like frivolous and so they hit her with like $1 million sanction and disbarred her.
Well, she was getting $1 million, like basically a week or something from the Trump campaign, or from Trump whenever she was representing him in court. She was getting a shit. She was getting paid a fuck ton of money.
And
Um,
yeah,
and that's somebody who would get money from the anti-weaponization fund for sure.
maybe
Yes. All like the girls that all the women that it's
girls.
obvious he finds attractive, that he has doing these jobs for him, are obviously all going to get paid.
Yeah, what about the human printer, the girl that the 35-year-old girl that write some love letters and whenever he has uh, escaped Air Force One into the catering truck and left Marco Rubio and Scott Bassett on the decoy plane to get hit with the missile. He brought like this like 35-year-old girl that's like with him all the time. What's her name? You know?
Oh, I can't remember her name, but yeah, she's that blonde girl that just follows him around. They're like
Right.
that. They always say, "Is
She's
this
just like
carrying
look
his
at
diaper bag?"
yeah, yeah. She's like in the corner like staring at him like she's like the girl from Obsession. Like it's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty unhinged.
Like he brought her with him.
Get in the food cart, move the meatloaf over, sit on Zaddy's lap. Little
Wow.
Marco.
Marco, they made him stay on the plane.
Imagine how mad would you be?
Dude, these guys have debased themselves so hard. Like, it's insane. Like, I mean, of course, Donald Trump's gonna leave you on a fucking plane that's gonna get hit with a fucking javelin missile when it takes off. Like, wild. But also, like, what is Israel doing? Claiming like this is like that's where we got the tip, and then our CIA was like, seems highly unlikely, but I guess we'll do this.
Put in.
And then I saw this side by side picture where it was like, it was the first assassination attempt, and it's like where Trump's like sticking his arm up. He's like, fight, fight, fight. And then a side by side of him in the catering cart, like hiding like in like a little like compartment. And then like it was like a fake assassination attempt versus a real one. And like, you know, the real one is him hiding, and like the fake one is him like, fight, fight, fight. I'm not saying it's fake. I think those were probably real, but I have no evidence to say they weren't. But the thing is like we wouldn't put it past Trump to like do shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, when you watch the video, then it's like they have the photo op where they let everybody in to take photos pretty much immediately, right as he's getting up. The whole thing was goofy,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Therapy question number 2. If your grandma had 1 year to become an internet celebrity, how does she do it? Um,
Definitely gardening is something to do with plants. Gardening for
really?
sure. Yeah, she's legit, man. She's about to be 95, still out in the garden, looks killing it, looks great. Like she's just a wizard when it comes to that stuff. It's pretty incredible.
I think my grandma was 92 when she died. It was my mom just had informed me it was like the 10-year anniversary the other day. Um, she speaking of poker, I think she would become internet celebrity for her video poker. Like she played video poker and but not for like money. She had like a device and then she would sometimes go to the casino. But like I'd come over to her house or condo in Redondo. Um and she'd be like, "Yo, check how much money I have on my video poker." Like one time it was she had $4 million playing video poker on this fucking thing. Like I was like, grandma, like, and it's like I don't think this thing would like just like it's like easy or something because it's like a home device. I think she's just crushing video poker at all times.
Just figured
But
it out.
yeah, but also she used to host. Her name was Betty Elizabeth, but she went by Betty. She and I had 40 first cousins, so she had 40 grandkids. Um,
God damn.
yeah, and she used to host this thing. It's called Camp Betty, and she'd have the grandkids come over and then compete in various like competitions. One being ping pong, and my grandma just would serve up all of the kids. It didn't matter like who you were, like just crush everybody in ping pong. And I was like thinking like back then it was just that's just what I knew. My grandma was just killing it in ping pong. But like I think about it, it's like she's like 70 something, just like crushing fools like in ping pong.
Yeah.
Like that was normal. Like so she could probably be an internet celebrity like that, just like grandma just takes on and then
Ping
yeah,
pong granny.
imagine if pickleball was around like back then.
True. And 40 cousins. Um,
I should say 39 because there's 40 total.
so that definitely there's a variety of like sizes, shapes, and like points in life. So it's not like they're all little
Right, like
kids. Some of them are
right,
teenagers. Some of
right.
them are
There's
young.
14-year-olds, 15-year-olds over there she's schooling.
Yeah,
That
impressive.
like that should have had yeah, be in your prime to take out a 70-year-old grandma in a ping pong game.
See, my grandma would definitely be gardening or it'd be cooking. She was a fantastic cook. So she'd be, or she'd have some sweet cooking show because she's that type. You come over, oh, are you hungry? Do you want a sandwich? Let me make you something. So it's just like you
Yeah,
feel like
but
you
that's a
have to
grandma,
say,
bro.
yeah, yeah, no, I know. So it's like you got to say yes, because if you don't, that might hurt her feelings because she just wants to make sure you're fed. Like she's just like checks all those boxes. But her cooking's pretty incredible. She makes these awesome homemade cinnamon rolls. Maybe we have, she made lemonade, but we have this huge lemon tree that she grew from nothing in the front yard in California on like Van Nuys, Burbank. She's got this huge orange tree, lemon tree, lime tree. So she's just like, you want limeade? And just like snip some off, sit there and make you a fresh picture of it. It was just legit. Just on point. Her cooking was great. She has some recipes that I
But
just
does
could.
she have personality to become an internet celebrity? Like people
Yeah,
can't
she
taste her
just she
food.
she's so sweet that you'd just be like, this is like the sweetest old lady ever. It would be
Nice.
adorable. She's just one of the nicest, most patient people ever, for sure.
Last time I saw my grandma, like she like we knew she was dying, but like she wasn't like suffering. But like everybody was like chilling at her house, like And I went over there, and then as I was leaving, she's like, "All right, Andy. Well, it was nice knowing you." She like knew. I was like, I was like she like because she was just so chill about it. But like I was like, Grandma, come on, like the fuck.
I do wonder if you reach that point where you're just like, all right, because I've
Oh,
heard stories.
she had such a good life, like insane. And when to me, it's like, dude, you make it into your 90s, like you can't complain. Maybe when we get to our 90s, because everybody's gonna be living longer. But like so when I tell people like my grandparents that, it's like, no, my grandpa was like 94, she was like 92. It's like I'll take that all damn day. Unless it was like you're a slave, like till you're like 94 or something.
Yeah,
But they had a good
that'll
ass
be.
life.
I'll be like, damn.
Yeah,
I wish my genes weren't so good. I'm
right.
95 and I'm still a slave.
Like I just heard this. Epicurus, one of the Stoics, he was a slave for the first 30 years of his life.
That'd be humbling. Humble beginnings.
Yeah,
Oh, really? You're from humble beginnings? Like what? I was a slave. Oh shit. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't get any
Born
more.
in born into slavery and
I was
escaped
born into
when I was
slavery.
30.
Yeah, I broke out when I was 30. Finally made it out.
30 also, by the way, Epicurus, that's like fucking 2000 years ago. 30 is like like that's when you're
Yeah,
dying, dude.
you're like you're
Actually,
bas-
no, I think like Socrates and all them did live a little bit longer. I think when I think people forget about this, like when they say like like your life expectancy, it's like right now it's like in the United States 77, 78, whatever it is. Um, it's including people who like died when they were 5, like in a car accident and all this stuff. And so I think people think it's like 75 is when like you're gonna like you potentially just die. But it's more like no, if you made it to 75, you're probably gonna make it to like 80 something. 75's get the number because it's getting brought down because there's a lot of people who die for accidentally younger, way younger deaths, and that
Yeah.
drives the number down.
It's everybody, not just like people who
Right.
live to that age.
Right, exactly. It's not like, hey, you should expect to like, maybe die around 75. No, it's like that's the average of, including but so my point is when like people were like the average age was like 30 back then or 35, that's because most kids died in birth, or whatever they call it, like during birth. And so or what do they call it? Maternity, like there's a term
Well, I mean, I'd say that like the
like
likelihood of a babe of like you being born when the life expectancy is 35 and you not making it to like 6 months to a year is pretty high.
which was a lot, like the majority
Pretty high.
of kids. Yeah, so my point is like it wasn't necessarily that everybody was getting old and dying at 35. It was just so many people were dying out the womb that it just drags the fucking numbers down. Like, Moses was 800 years old.
Big facts.
I think it was actually more than that, but okay. If There, question number three. If you can replace one body part with the same body part from any animal, which gives you the biggest advantage?
I want a dolphin brain. Um,
That's an advantage.
Maybe, dude. You never know. We don't know. We'll find out. Uh, Replace one so I can't just add one. I have to take something away to replace it with another.
Yeah,
Replace one body part.
with the same body part.
Hmm. Probably
And
something I have to
it's got to be
do.
like legs. Like it's got to be like,
Yeah, but that would be kind of weird. Like then I'm like got like cheetah legs or some shit,
well,
or
not
like
cheetah,
or
maybe.
be like I want to have gorilla arms. You'd look weird as fuck. Probably something that has better eyesight
Ooh, I know. I know.
better hearing.
Horsecock.
Jesus. Okay. Well, we know what Mr. Goody's going
Not
for.
like I don't already have one, but
But that probably something like with that has to do with eyesight or something to do with hearing.
that's exactly what I was thinking, like dog hearing or like I was trying to think of smell or hearing. Um, because I don't want my dog's eyesight. Because
No,
I actually think Ware has bad eyesight because like she'll get far away in the dog park and I'll be like yelling like her name and she can hear me and she's like looking around and it's like yeah, I'm like, bitch, can you see? Are you blind?
I would want if I was gonna do eyes, they'd look crazy. But I'd do like mantis shrimp eyes or something like that. Those have the most powerful eyesight
Really?
that we know. So theirs is super interesting because there's like receptor cones in your eyes that allow you to pick up stuff and like what you see and like our light spectrum, and they have something crazy. I think humans have like I don't know how many cones. Let me see here.
Trichome. Oh, we see like tricolor, like um, there's like deer and whatever, like a tiger
So here
hunts
you
in
go.
jungle.
So mantis shrimp possess one of the most complex and unique visual systems in the animal kingdom, featuring 12 to 16 types of photoreceptors compared to humans that have 3.
I see. I said three.
So they can see ultraviolet
Right.
and see polarized light. They can see shit that's like that like we couldn't even comprehend what it looks like because they have like 12 to 16 receptor cones in their eyes and we have 3. So you
So,
like the
but what I
amount
was
of
gonna say is
information would be
the
powerful.
the animals that like antelope and like the tigers are hunting have only two trichomes. So when we look at tigers, they're orange, but to them, they're green. So they actually blend perfectly within the jungle.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. So they are camouflaged just and like, but yeah, like that was like, that's interesting. But like to me, it was like, oh shit. So you could have four, but you're saying like you could have 12.
12
Like
to
that'd be great.
16 depending on
Yeah.
like that's crazy like the amount of
Of
information you'd pull in via your
That's like
eye. Your
that's
eye.
like seeing different dimensions almost.
Yeah, that's. I mean, imagine being able to walk or being in the bottom of the ocean and seeing the ultraviolet light that comes off of the sun through that breaks through the water, because that's just like what they see.
That's
So
just one of the things they
yeah,
see.
one of them. I mean, that's whenever we've talked about it before, where people say like, "Oh, imagine a color you've never seen before." Like you can't, because it's gonna be like some compilation of other colors you've seen. You're going off of that reference. Like
You're going off of the yeah
they
the blue, yellow, red combos.
the mantis shrimp can might be able to see that.
No,
Like
it might be able definitely.
yeah, well, we don't, but we can't. We have to
Well,
create machines to pick up to get the signature to know that it's there, but we still don't see it. To just see it naturally be fucking crazy. The amount of processing, and they act as two independent eyes, so they can look in two opposite directions and absorb it all. So they can get almost like a 360-degree view of everything around them. So it's just like I don't. It's fucking crazy to think like eyes in the back of your head type shit, but they're on the front. They're just that powerful.
yeah, that's like that sounds similar to like the octopuses with the each tentacle has its own neural system, so it's
Yeah,
like its own brain.
right. It's its own like independent, free
Yeah,
functioning thing.
yeah.
And mantis shrimp. If you, I implore you to look them up. Their eyes look crazy. They look like some static black and white, like I don't know, like movie screen type thing. I don't know how to describe the coloration of it, but it looks like it's almost glowing. This like off white, tannish, gray like color, and they're very like cubed, like they look fucking crazy. And mantis shrimp are also the same. Shrimp, they're iridescent and they're really beautiful looking creatures, but they have the two club arms, so they're really unique creatures because they have these weird club arms that whenever they use them to attack, they like thump fish with them and kill them in one like they like hit them with their little club thing and it kills the fish in like one hit. The amount of pressure that they create in between like the friction from their club arm making contact like creates like small like fire bubbles underwater with the amount of force that they use. So if you were to take your hand and stick it in a mantis shrimp thing and it were to stick your hand, it would crack. It would like bust your hand in half. Like it would break your hand and snap your fingers. Like they're fucking crazy powerful. But when they look at them in slow mo cameras, they create these heat bubbles in the bottom of the ocean with like visible like fire looking friction that's created by the force that they make contact with other creatures. Like they're fucking crazy. They're insane. They see in outer space, extra dimensional being type ways, and I mean, they've been compared to like mini nukes. It's like faster than a bullet than a gun being shot, and that's like what they use. There's different types, so they don't all have those clubs, but they all have some sort of thing that they use, and they're carnivorous and they're like fucking huge. People keep them in tanks sometimes. They're crazy, crazy ass
They're
fucking.
huge.
They can get pretty big. They can get like pretty long. Like it's like a little like
I was thinking these tiny little things like
they
knocking
can
out
be
fish.
small, but like full grown ones, some of them can get pretty decent size. Where you
Crazy.
would see it and you'd be like, oh fuck that, and it'd look beautiful. You'd be like, oh my god, I want to touch that, and then it would like break your hand, and then like scurry off, like they're very weird creatures, and they live in coral. They're super fast. You should look up, man, mantis shrimp.
I
And that's
think I
because
did
that's why
one
they
time.
call
I
them
think
that
we
because
talked about it before.
yeah, because they have their clubs. They pull them back like a praying mantis, so it looks like a crustacean praying mantis type thing. Super cool.
Okay. Final therapy question. If every human had to wear one sponsor logo for life, who pays the most?
Apple.
Really?
Yeah, probably Apple
Like OpenAI so spent like
or
6 billion.
Amazon. It'd be somebody like that who'd be fighting to stay as relevant as possible.
Um,
Costco would probably pay pretty good. The
Coca-Cola.
boom, Coca Cola,
I'm telling you,
McDonald's.
like OpenAI spent like billions of dollars on their marketing. It's like I've never really seen an OpenAI. Like I've seen a couple OpenAI commercials, whatever, like how it's going. But they're using um how much money they're spending on marketing, like as a way to like fluctuate the numbers like on their balance sheet. Like they're using that as like a business expense or a profitable. I don't know. It's weird. So
Yeah.
it's like yeah. So they're doing no. They're like laundering money in within their own company from their marketing department to like their on like top line revenue. I don't know. That's just a fun fact. But Apple, I don't know.
Who I mean, who else would pay besides OpenAI or any of these AI, or a crypto? I could see like Bitcoin
Crypto
pay.
for sure. Crypto.
Crypto.com.
Yeah, crypto or just any crypto company. Also, uh, health insurance.
Yeah, like State Farm.
No, I'm thinking of like
Oh, like yeah,
United or
United or Blue Cross
uh,
Blue Shield,
yeah. I'm just trying to think of all the lobbies that, yeah, like Meta.
NRA.
That definitely,
No,
definitely, no, NRAs like
yeah, I
they
was like
got
they're broke. They're
defanged.
defunct. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're defunct. So probably
yeah.
not.
It's interesting to think about. But yeah, I think Coca-Cola's got to be up there because that's really all it is advertising.
Yeah, yeah, I could see Coca Cola being up there, McDonald's being up there, but I think Apple would pay
Pay the
good,
most. Do you think
close
they'd be
to the top.
selective
Yeah, I think they'd be selective on who they have. It'd be like
and then
Gap
you get
back.
the
It'd be
biggest
like
deals?
Gap back in the day. They'd be really picky on who's in the Gap commercial, and then they'd be like up, and that'd be a huge boost because then you're in the Gap commercial. Now it's like I see a Gap, I'm like, oh shit, they're still open. That's crazy.
Do you think it would turn into like because everybody has to have a sponsorship? Do you think it would be turned into like a status symbol? Like
Yeah,
who's
definitely.
who's gonna get the fucking Apple sponsor? Who's gonna get the
Well, yeah, I mean, there'd be probably like an application process. There'd be a whole, you'd have to create your own platform so they'd only go after the top. It'd become like, social media influencer type shit for sure.
or like sports drafts?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
It'd be like a European Euro League basketball jersey. It'd just be covered in sponsorship shit. Because I
No,
remember
just
when
use
they,
just one.
yeah, no, I mean, back in the day, the Euro League, they'd have like 1,000 different
No,
fucking
I know
things on
that.
there.
I'm just saying, but everybody just gets one this time.
So it'd be like the NBA, like how now they have like
Right,
one
right.
sponsor on their
Yeah,
jersey.
for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now.
I never got that like whenever I first became aware of like the Premier League and stuff like back in the day. Like when it'd be like Emiratis like airlines like on their jersey like in the front, but it's like Arsenal and I'm like like I didn't put two and two together. Like I'm just like because there's no such thing like in our professional sports of like a jersey not saying your jersey name,
Yeah,
Like
I mean, ours was more structured around like, well, I mean, we can all thank OJ Simpson. He does not get enough credit for the model that is our everyday sports athlete doing endorsements, getting paid to
I know,
wear products.
I'm talking about the jerseys.
No, no, no. I know, but I'm saying so that was so that big sponsorship, the old school create the old school way, which was pretty much pioneered in a lot of ways by OJ Simpson back in the day, became the standard where it's the commercials, it's the products, it's oh, I wear these gloves, I wear isotoner gloves, or I wear these shoes and I didn't stab my wife. Like he's got all these things where it was like endorsement deals endorsing the products and he was the spokesperson for the product. And then yeah, over in Europe and a lot of other ways it was like this money is going to the team and they're funding the team. As or then it was more like, oh, we're funding this one specific player. They would fund the team, but it wasn't as big of a deal, and you couldn't be an official sponsor. And that's what like Kawhi Leonard is running into and all that shit with the Clippers. We talked about it before with Steve Ballmer, all this circumventing the cap shit that's going on right now. It's because like he tried to get DeAndre Jordan to be a spokesperson for Lexus and he got fined for it because Lexus is an official sponsor of the Clippers. So there's that separation, and you can't do those endorsement deals. It's not like these soccer players are necessarily doing commercials for them, but they're not getting paid directly by those businesses. So like the structure's different. The American sports athlete was more of a spokesman, and then oh, you sponsored the team, cool. Like we'll put that on a commercial, the official sponsor of, and they'll just
right. I guess I just like never thought of like a fan wearing a jersey that said Emiratis on it and not Arsenal. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
that concept was weird to me.
100%, especially because what we're used to is like, oh, if their sponsorship shit wraps around the outside of the building, it wraps is
Well,
on the.
I bet you that was the first thing is when somebody came up with the idea of licensing in the name of a stadium, and then they're like, you know what else we can license? The jerseys,
Jerseys.
and then and then NASCAR, same thing.
And that's why these soccer clubs are worth some of them are worth so much money. So it was only a matter of time before that started to happen over here,
Yeah, for
just
sure.
because they're missing out on
Yeah,
money.
you're just leaving money on the
They're just
table.
leaving money on the table, and there's nothing these owners would love to do more than get every dollar off the table, including
And they
yours and anyone
Right, but
else's.
and there was like very like strict rules of what you can wear, like jersey wise, shoes wise. You know, there's rules on that, cleats, blah blah blah, and like and all these fucking guys who own these teams are like not even boomers. They're like the great generation. So they probably you know they're like to them it was probably like tacky to put like a logo on the jersey, and then now it's like they got like the VC money in there, and they're like, no, of course, like let you know.
Yeah, I remember famously Reggie Bush being fined $25,000 per game for wearing his gold Adidas cleats because Adidas was not an official sponsor. And then Adidas paid the fine for every game he wore those shoes, which was just more advertising for people to
Well,
go
that's
get.
exactly what
Yeah,
Happened with Jordan's first
yeah.
shoes. They had like too much. They had to be a certain color, had to have like a certain amount of white on them or something. And then they're like, you know what? Just wear them anyways. And then Nike will pay the fine.
Yep. And then we've seen people follow suit in that to go against the establishment because there is some sort of uniformity that they want. And
Right.
now it's like,
NBA's got a little bit laxed about it since
yeah,
because like yeah, because Adam Silver like gets it now. Like they have like weird jerseys like half the time.
well, and it's a more of an international market than the NFL. NFL wishes they could be as big of
They're
an
trying.
international
They're trying.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying hard, but they wish they could be as big. So they've the exposure to that via the Euro leagues, the China leagues, Spanish leagues, these places that where a lot of their talent comes from. When they're scouting, when they're out there looking at it, they see because that's why soccer, like U.S. soccer, they have sponsors on their jerseys and stuff. That's a part adopted into the culture.
Yeah.
But basketball definitely made that pivot first, and you'll continue to see other sports that have been anti doing that to fall into it because they just want fucking money. That's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. They don't give two shit if it's like Love's truck stops. Like they don't give a fuck what's on the jersey. How much are you paying me for that space? Because they're running out of ways to milk every dollar out of this shit. And they profit share beside outside of like sponsorships and stuff.
In baseball they do.
Um, in baseball they profit share.
Well, they
No,
profit share. Yeah, yeah, they do.
no, because they're so in
No,
the
I'm
NFL.
not saying on advertising. I'm saying on
No,
total profit share. Like the Rays get paid by the Dodgers every year.
yeah, but like their TV deals are separate. So the money that
Right.
they generate through MLB stuff. So it's like the NBA. The NBA splits all their TV deals. The money gets split down evenly. The NFL, all these TV deals, the league signs the deal. It gets sliced up, divvied to everybody, and then tickets, concessions, suites, merchandise, all that extra shit, your sponsorship deals for the stadiums, that's separate. That's your money. But the
Yeah.
money that we make off the NFL TV deals gets divvied up. In the MLB,
And
this
when
is
you mean divvy, goes 50-50 players
yeah,
owners.
yeah. Well, yeah, no. I mean, it gets divvied up. Those TV deals monies gets sliced into chunks, and each equal chunks go to each owner. Now, what they do with that money and the structure of it, yes, there has to be some set aside that goes out to the players and stuff through their CBA. But the overall, like we signed $100 billion deal, a TV deal with Fox for the NFL that gets chopped up, and every owner gets an equal slice of that 100 billion.
Right, but then the salary cap goes up because
Yeah,
of the money that comes in
that's why they
because of the revenue.
renegotiate. Yeah, that's why the collective bargaining agreements are always like it's, a living, breathing document because the amount of money and revenue they're pulling in from these deals changes. And if the
Right.
players don't
And
like
they
it,
just
yeah.
Well, no, it's just that they signed these huge fucking deals recently, like for billions of dollars with the streaming platforms and NBC. And since the revenue went up, now the salary cap, where like the max deal you were getting paid $35 million for every four, per year for 4 years. Now it's like 70.
Yeah, yeah, that's why there's teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, shout out, who are good at managing the cap because they structure deals knowing that the salary cap's going to go up in the future. So they give themselves wiggle room later and push money back whenever they know they're going to renegotiate another deal. So that's why people will be like, "Oh, the Eagles always seem to have cap space," is because they always build it in for it to grow and they anticipate that growth rather than being like, "What do we get now?" They look at the cap in like a 5 to 6 year window. But now in baseball, your TV deals you keep, you don't split. Those are team to team. That's your fucking money. That's why there's big market, small market. That's why there's teams like Boston, New York, but then there's teams like the Royals, Cincinnati Reds that don't
And
feel
that
like they can
and that's
compete.
what I'm saying. So they have a built-in revenue structure where the rich teams have to pay the lesser market teams because of that dynamic.
True, but there is also no salary, no hard cap in
Right.
baseball. So that's where if you have those deals, you have those big markets, you can afford these big players because you
Correct.
can pay whatever you want out of pocket because you know you're going to make money
Right.
off of
The
it.
Dodgers have to pay, split the revenue share with the smaller teams, but that doesn't mean they don't have billions of dollars left over to spend on their team.
And that's why there's baseball contracts. NBA is a little bit more flexible. Their contracts are 100% guaranteed. There are
So,
big,
so is baseball.
yeah, no, that's what I said. Baseball and the NBA, they have
Yeah.
guaranteed 100% guaranteed contracts. Then you can see other leagues, hard cap leagues, or leagues that are structured differently don't have those guarantees. So the NFL,
Well,
your
football, yeah, they didn't even
football,
have free agency in football for a long time. But yeah, football, which is the one where you would think that you would get a guarantee because it's like you have no idea
well,
if you're
they
gonna make
they
it.
they collectively bargained that because then they realized that they would draft these people and hold them hostage their whole careers,
Yeah,
and you can thank Jerry Jones for that. And because of the, can you imagine if it wasn't a hard cap league and the amount of money that Jerry Jones has? How
yeah,
much money he could put in, or it's a hard cap league with the luxury tax because there is in the NBA. If you go over, you pay like $2 for every $1 you go over the cap.
yeah,
You're in the
and
luxury tax.
and
Um,
and then they even made it even more complicated where it's like there's a apron, second apron. It's like if it's like the second time you're like renegotiating the contract, you have to actually pay more. Like there's like restrictions on it to try to make it like
to
harder to.
to keep the big market, small market, which you do still have in the NBA a little bit, but to stop that from being a driving factor on if your team's going to be successful or not,
Right.
because that does exist in baseball. You do have, the Royals winning the World Series. You do have some of these teams every once in a while that come out of left field and win it because they have a
Because they
good
have like a
team.
good farm system.
But then you watch those teams always get broken up. People split up. These large market teams scoop up that talent to try to get another championship out of them because they can just afford to overpay for people.
Yeah.
That's why some people like hate the Yankees. Like they'll hate the Yankees. They hate the Red Sox. They hate
Now
the
it's the
Cubs.
Dodgers.
Hate the Dodgers. Because those are big market teams with deep pockets that will snatch up your favorite player off the Colorado Rockies tomorrow. And if he's terrible, then they'll just let him go. That's why you see these 10-year, $385 million deals. Those are guaranteed contracts. Like some of them are crazy fucking contracts. That's why I've always said if I could be really good at one sport, like
Baseball.
I'd be baseball and I'd be a pitcher. I'd be a really good starting pitcher. You would make so much money. Be making hundreds of $1 millions hand over fist. You'd work once every 5 to 6 days. It'd be fucking chill. If I'm and That's one of the few positions in sports where if I'm just that good at my job that day, it doesn't matter how good anybody else is. Like I can win this. I can literally strike out everybody, and besides the catcher catching it, I could win this game by myself. And that's like one of the few like goalie in hockey, I guess goalie in soccer, but more so goalie in hockey, where you can just be so locked in that it doesn't matter what anybody does. You're not winning this game. And pitcher is one of the few team-oriented sports where an individual can take over an
Baseball is
entire
an
sport.
individual sport designed as a team sport. You go up to bat by yourself. You're in your
True,
position as you're
but
by
there's still
yourself.
but you still but even then, like especially on the defensive side of the ball, the side where the pitcher actually plays, it is a group sport. Whenever you're playing defense, offense, yes, it's individual statistics tied to a team's success. But when you're pitching, I mean, you're in control of the entire game. So you just be shutting down individual performances, and you could literally be so good that nobody has to move,
Yeah.
and the defense has to work as a unit for you to win. So it's about 50-50 split, depends on what side. It's either very team
Or you're
oriented.
Shohei Ohtani and you're the pitcher and you're hitting three home
Yeah,
runs
you
in the
can
same game.
yeah, you do it all, and that's obviously extremely rare.
Yeah, it's him and
But
Babe Ruth.
so he's in that anomaly of like no matter where I can take over a game. I could be so good at my job
I
pitching
could
that
take over a league.
it doesn't matter what you do, and I could still also win 1-0 and hit a home run. I could pitch a perfect game no hitter and hit the game winning home run in the same game. Like those are
And that's why they paid him 700 million fucking dollars.
it's just it's wild to think of being, because we're raised to not think of team sports like that, and you don't realize it till later that like you can be that dominant, because you can't be a quarterback, running back. There's a offensive lineman, defense. I mean, I guess maybe a corner if you're like always in one on
I
one
mean, you could
coverage,
be
but even then,
Kobe or Michael. Kobe had some shitty teams.
true,
Michael
but
had some.
true, but I mean, it still took the teams to get to that point. Like that's where it's like yes and no. Like yes, you can take over a basketball game, but in turn, it's also like
Jeremy Lin.
you can never be that dominant as a pitcher. Like the comparison of being that dominant as a pitcher and throwing a perfect game is like having a Wilt Chamberlain 100 point
100.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and that's happened once, and it's not on.
Right.
It's like maybe on video. There's a picture of it.
It's
How
not on video,
how
but
many?
yeah,
You know what I'm
there's
saying?
a
Like,
picture of him holding a
yeah,
sign that
it's
says
like the
100 of.
legend of your great grandpa's girlfriend who gave him gonorrhea was there. Like it's all it's all over the place. But in pitching, like you can do that. Like you can be 27 up, 27 down, game over. Doesn't matter, and it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, pretty fucking tight.
Alrighty, on to the topics.
Topic number one. Stream, in case people were wondering. Will you say something?
Um, this
Okay,
is a
we're good. Nah,
okay. Go
shut
ahead.
up. Shut up. We're good. Shut up. Article number one from NPR brought to you by viewers like you. The grueling fight over who profits from AI music. I thought this would hit hard with you. The music industry is becoming a test case for an economy transformed by generative AI. For most of the last century, music business operated under a surprisingly simple idea. If you want to use someone else's work, you ask permission and you pay them. Want to sample a song? There's a licensing process. Want to use a song in a movie, advertisement, or television show? The people who own the song get paid. Industry built a massive economy around identifying who owns a piece of music, who contributed to it, who deserves compensation when it creates value. Now generative AI is challenging that entire system. AI music platforms like Suno and Udio let anyone generate complete songs, including vocals, lyrics, and instrumentation from a simple text prompt, used by everyone from hobbyists to content creators to independent musicians and Grammy Award winning producers. They've become the public face of AI generative music. In February, the Suno CEO and co founder Mike Schulman said in a post on X that the company has surpassed over 2 million paid subscribers. Suno and Udio can generate songs in a few clicks, but the bigger disruption may not be the songs themselves. For us, for us at Planet Money, we're interested in the economic question. When an AI model learns from millions of songs, who gets paid for that use? This question is now at the center of a growing legal and financial battle in the music industry, as AI music is already stealing income from human musicians. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, like there's like what's happening is like some people are basically taking real like people's like actual songs like and then like adjusting it a little bit like on these AI platforms and then putting them out. And so it's like and then yeah, and then they're the ones getting the revenue from it. So I mean, it's just basically if somebody just stole somebody else's song, like that's all it is. They're just using AI to they're just using AI to fucking as the tool to do it, but you could just like have recorded the song, you know? Like
Yeah, but they're saying that like is using that music to train the AI.
oh yeah. No, I don't know like the specifics of how Suno and Udio uh trained the AI, but I know that they just Suno just settled a lawsuit with the German music like union or like whoever there's like a an entity in Germany that like that's in charge of the music industry.
Nazi records. Sorry.
Yeah, no. And and they were claiming that Suno had used their library to train the model. So like they basically it's like a licensing deal. I think they've done a licensing deal with Universal Music Group, which is like one of the biggest like fucking record label. And this is what I heard. And like pretty soon you're gonna be able to no, Spotify did this to where you're gonna be able to remix like songs, like popular songs and stuff. But there will be like a pay structure there where because there's a licensing from Spotify, and so whoever's like songs like you're gonna like try to like remix or whatever, yeah, the artist would still get paid for it.
So if
The,
you've been doing this from the jump, before that happens, you hit like a money glitch. Because
meaning what? Like
if you're just altering songs and reposting them with no ramification,
yeah, that's happening. Yeah,
you're
like
making
that happened.
bank and you're not doing shit. And
That
there's
happened to this like I forget what band it was. Um, it happened to them, and yeah, and like and they try to litigate it, and like they got it taken down on some sites, but like it was like kind of ambiguous, like or like a gray area if it was like actually because it's a different song technically,
yeah, but
but
that's like
but it's their song though, you know. Like Ed Sheeran's gotten sued for like and Bruno Mars both by Marvin Gaye's estate for stealing his like songs. Ed Sheeran won his loss like because he explained it to him. It's like, hey, there's like only a certain amount of like chords and beats, you know, right? Like you can the, that you can make, and then you do a combination of it, but like this is what you know what makes this different and like you know so but Marvin Gaye's like estate is kind of like litigious
oh yeah,
like
they're dicks
yeah
about that.
they're like hey that sounds like let's get it on too much but and the thing is Ed Sheeran actually on stage I don't know if it was Let's Get It On but it was a Marvin Gaye song that they were talking about he did a mashup on stage so he went from his song into that song. So it was kind of, but like you can see, you can pull up videos of people that will like play like six, seven songs without changing anything that they're doing on the guitar, and it's all songs like you've heard, and it's just like there's a formula. Like music is a formula, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like think about it, like do you like don't you think that we would have run out of different songs like anytime like your friends are like jamming out like it's like how, like is it how do you how's it original every time but it kind of is it's just like music is so it's like finite but like infinite at the same time.
Yeah. Well, first to the fight, what did AI train on? Part of this battle's complexity is that it's been unclear exactly what material has gone into training many AI models. The lack of transparency has made it harder for artists and researchers to understand what these systems learned from and build a legal case. Alec Resner, journalist for The Atlantic, said he's been investigating AI training data sets through his AI watchdog group. The tool has helped musicians, including artists such as SZA, spot their work in AI training data sets. It's really difficult to discuss the potential of the technology, the risks of the technology, without having more information out there about how it's trained, Rosner said. And so my purpose with the AI watchdog and these search tools is not to try to give people access, is to try to give people access to some of the raw data, which I do think if your stuff's being used, you should be able to know. So I don't think that's super
No shit, yeah,
taboo.
but that's everything ever trained on AI, you know? Everything it's been trained on it was stolen. It's not just music.
Yeah,
It's yeah, like this is just music specific. Also, the AI models are being trained by the people using them. So it's like you like people can upload their music and then adjust it. Like because like I have songs like where there's female vocals. I'm using that's not a real female. Um, so like it's I'm like putting in my song, adding in the female vocals, and now that platform has that song to train on, or right,
yeah,
so it's just kind of yeah, it's like it's learning on itself, but how did it originally learn is the real question, and Suno's been in lawsuits. All these AI companies are in lawsuits. New York Times is suing OpenAI, you know.
yeah. Crystal Delgado is an entertainment lawyer, independent artist and podcaster who's been following the legal and financial battle closely. She says this matters because it's actually the same pool. Everyone's music, the AI music, the human-made music, goes into the same place. Then it's divided up. She points at tens of thousands of AI-generated tracks appearing on streaming services.
See, that's the problem see, this is really what the problem is. So basically Spotify has a pool of money. This is like their business model, and then they divvy up that money percentage of streams total, right?
Yeah,
So you get this much so for me this is crazy. So DistroKid is I've talked about this before is the distributor that gets your music on Spotify, Apple Music, and you would think there'd be a lot of them, and it's like literally a monopoly, and I don't know why anybody doesn't talk about this. But on DistroKid, like they'll give you stats across all platforms, and they distribute my music on platforms I've never even heard of, and then every platform you've ever heard of. And they have a section where it's the bank, and it shows you, streams per song, per platform, per artist. I only have, I'm just one artist. And the two fucking numbers surprised me, that in my bank. One, I have 250,000 streams of my music. That's insane.
that's a
It's
lot.
been, that's a lot, like, right? Like I was like, what? Like but then right next to that is how much royalties I've gotten from that built up so far. $11. So like I was like amazed that like that many people or that my songs have been played that many times. And then it was like $11. It's like, how do you make any money from this, dude? Like you have to be like, because like what I had 1 million streams, that's what, $44? But I mean a lot of people get 1 million, 10 million streams per song. This was all of my songs on all platforms put together.
Yeah,
So it probably, I mean, it does add up. And then I think there's also tiers. Like once you start hitting like 1 million, 10 million, the RPK is what they call it. It's like revenue per thousand clicks. Um, uh, when we first started the podcast 5 years ago, they were trying to offer us like $15 per thousand. Now I think it's like eight. It's kind of like Uber, how it was like cheap in the beginning, and then they start fucking you. And so it's like they're paying like like pretty decent prices like per viewer in the beginning, and then slowly but surely the
the
you're
bringing
getting
it
less.
down. Yeah.
But I did hear there's tiers, so it's like if you're consistently like getting 1 million per video, then your RPK revenue goes up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it also depends on your demographics. So it's like if you're like 18 to 34-year-olds, which is like the most sought after, you would get paid more.
Suno and UDO have argued that their training data falls under fair use protections. Fair use is a legal doctrine that allows people to use limited portions of copyrighted work without permission in certain situations. These include news reporting, commentary, criticism, teaching, and research. There's no magic word count or percentage of what makes something fair use. It's determined by a case by case basis on the context of what the material is used. I mean, it's not, but they're not doing snippets. They're just dumping it
But
all in because
what do you think? Yeah.
there's no regulation to it. So it's like because there's
And
no
so,
regulation to it, they're gonna go overboard with it.
yeah, just recently when I'm uploading my music, in order to upload it to Apple, they ask if it's AI generated, and then I think in September, Suno striked a deal with maybe Universal, where they're going to put a watermark on if you downloaded the song off of their website, so that you would know by the file if it's AI generated, and then also limit the amount of downloads that people can do on the site to prevent spamming, or like, because really what's happening is people are putting bots to create thousands of songs and then have bots hit play over and over and over and over again on these songs, but they kept calling them fake songs. And I'm like, well, how's it a fake song? Like, is it a song generated by AI that actually like you can hit play and listen to? Because the article kept saying fake songs. I'm like, how, like, is it a song? Like, what's a fake song? Right? Like, but it was fake listeners. Nobody was actually listening to them. Like a bot would just press play over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and then like this guy like ended up like making like $4 million on his like 5,000 songs that played every single day, all day. Um, but yeah, I just was so curious what they meant fake songs.
Hmm. When discussing deals between AI companies and major music companies, she asked a simple question: where's the money going if they stole all of our music? I mean, we saw this coming though when it came with this. It's every time there's a new frontier of something, there's no regulation, there's no, and then there's no like guide, like handrails, guide rails to the sides, to bumpers on this bowling lane, so people are just like going fucking crazy.
It's the Wild West.
And then it gets drawn back, and then you start to see the
No,
over
no, not
regulation.
really, not really.
Well,
Social media
that's
still has zero regulation.
well, and that's well, yes, but then you see all the stuff that Meta's getting into with legal troubles and
Finally,
class
but that's
action
like,
lawsuits.
yeah, those
So
are
those are
civil.
so now we're seeing it because like people are like taking their lives and doing crazy shit. But with this especially, it's also because it's always growing and learning and getting stronger. There really is no turning back. So that's like what makes this a little bit different. Social media, like we can, they could just ban all the apps one day and it would go away. The world would adjust. I'm sure somebody would try to fill the gap. But if it was like, no, we're not doing that anymore. AI is like its own, it's like
Yeah,
a leviathan of information, so it's just never gonna stop until it like eats itself alive. um so that's where it's like now it's there, it's in there, what do we do about it? And it's still absorbing more as we're having a
I mean,
conversation.
AI, like there's AI songs that are charting. Like I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world. Like just depends.
Yeah.
Like the to like creating songs like for no other reason than to try to get like generate revenue from streaming platforms like through bots. Like I think it was like 60 or 70% of the AI generated songs that are on Spotify or Apple Music have never been listened to.
Hmm.
And it's because like these people are putting out thousands of them, and like just
No, and there's some people who make AI music and it's like fire. Some of it's like super good. But yeah, there's a lot of people that just flood the market with this shit.
a lot.
Come come up with like catchy little quips or titles, or make it like a playlist that's this, or like, and they'll try to mimic something else. And it's super fucking annoying. But and that's kind of what AI's become, is like super fucking annoying when it
Well,
comes
that's
to
what,
certain
yeah,
shit.
everybody thinks that.
Like music, certain looking for certain things. It can become, now if I want to look something up and look for an article, it defaults to send me to what the AI is gonna tell me before anything else. I'm like, motherfucker, like that's not what I'm asking for.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's
Side
up?
note. Uh, Two Girls, One Cup. Was that a video available when we were in high school, right?
Yeah, you can find it. You could just download it. You can
Right,
find it
right, right.
online. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw this video. This girl said that that video was released in 2007. Said that one of the girls died 2 days later from some disease she got from eating the shit. And I was like,
That's
I'm like,
made
okay.
up.
And I replied, I go to who sent it to me. I go, I don't even need to fact check this. Like, I have multiple memories of showing this to people in my room in Texas when I was in high school, and I graduated in '05. So then I go to Google when it was released. Every single article, it says 2007. I swear to God, this is the first Mandela effect I've ever experienced. Like all the other ones, I'm like, no, like the Shazam, Kazam, it was obviously Kazam. Maybe the cornucopia and the fruit of the loom, yeah. But like, I'm like, like what? I've told this story so many times on the podcast. I can remember doing this. 2007. Like I was tripping out. But then the fucked up part about this is in order to like find out if this is I got on a Reddit and this guy was like, listen guys, it was the 90s, like, and he was trying to explain like why this like took off, and then like a reply was released was in 2007, definitely not the 90s. But like the first thing I saw was a guy casually agreeing with me that this was like, and so I'm like, what the fuck? But then now, in order to debunk this conspiracy theory or Mandela effect, I have to like now like be searching for Two Girls One Cup in like different ways, like on my Google, in order to like see like what happened, and it's like insane. But like I've always been saying, like, why isn't there a documentary about this? Because it's like everybody knows what it is, and like it was like this like phenomenon somehow before social media is what I used to say. Except for 2007 is 2 years after Facebook. Like, and no fucking way that's when it came out. It like it's wild.
Hmm. Next article: a dispute about fact versus fiction. We got Keefe D on trial for the murder of Tupac right now. I think he's the last motherfucker, the last old head even around who was potentially involved in that. That would be that'd be a shitty last person of a crew to be alive. Be like, oh shit, like now we got you. But this motherfucker's been talking about it and how he was involved in it for years, and it's just now reached a head. Prosecutor said Monday that while few have been willing to speak about the 1996 killing of Tupac Shakur, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis is the one person who has had a hard time being silent. Let's be clear. Mr. Davis did not pull the trigger, but he did plan the shooting in retaliation of the beating of his nephew, which is kind of the story that we talked about. That's the fight that happened in the hotel,
The casino.
the casino before the Tyson fight, which he was shot after leaving the Tyson fight. Or was it when they were leaving? It was when they were. I think it
They're like
maybe
in the lobby,
yeah,
like,
in
and
the
then
lobby. It
it
was either
stomped
before or
out
after
some
the fight,
fool.
and they stomped out
Yeah.
some food who tried to start some shit. Let's be clear. He did not pull the trigger. Yep. Chief Deputy District Attorney Paula told jurors that at the start of the Davis Las Vegas trial, remarkably, you will learn that from Dwayne Davis himself. Davis, 63, could get life in prison if he's convicted of murder with a deadly weapon with the intent to promote, further, or assist a criminal gang. He has pled not guilty. His lawyer in the defense opening called the prosecution's narrative fiction. Palel showed jurors a video of Shakur's entourage attacking Davis's nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, outside the boxing match at the MGM Grand hours before the shooting on September 7th, 1996. Never forget. Davis spent the next two hours planning how to get even, and Palel said that Shakur was gunned down in an act of revenge. Shakur remains a cultural icon. He's probably still alive in Cuba. He's considered one of the most influential and versatile rappers of all time, dying at 25. What he told the FBI investigators. In 2008 interview with federal task force investigating the killing of Shakur, the notorious B.I.G. Davis instead talked about the Shakur shooting. He described handing a gun to the men in the back seat of a white Cadillac that fired on a black BMW with Shakur, Marion Suge Knight inside. Prosecutors played audio of Davis explaining the moment Shakur was shot. Members of Shakur's family, including his stepmother, Maurice Mopreme Shakur, stared ahead and listened intently from the audience. Polo told jurors Davis held onto the visceral hatred for Shakur for decades that drove him to speak. He said that the defendant talked to the FBI in 98 and again in 99, admitting he had been in Vegas at the time of the shooting. In 2009, he admitted to his role in the killing in an interview. This motherfucker's just now going to trial. And now, 30 years later, we're going to ask you finally hold Mr. Davis accountable. They also showed him a 2019 memoir from Davis co-authored called Compton Street Legend that the prosecution will use and the defense fought to keep out of the trial, along with several of the defendants' interviews on like Vlad TV. He talked about this shit so much. You can find these interviews where he talked about like why he was killed, what happened, the phone calls he made, who was there. All these guys are dead, but he basically sold everybody out. It's kind of wild. It's not even dry snitching. He like wet snitched on himself. I mean, he literally is admitting to everything that he did and giving this guy the gun, putting people in the car that could look like the suspects in a car that is the car identified in the shooting. I mean, happened in the outside of a Vegas hotel and casino. And it wasn't at like 4 a.m. It was right
And even if it
after
was, it's Vegas.
it was after a very short Tyson fight. Tyson won that fight. They left. They were going to an after party to go celebrate.
Yeah.
How they're defending him, wearing a blue suit and tie. He sat there with his hands folded. Yeah, man, there's so many interviews of this guy talking about it. It's mind blowing that he's like, not guilty. It's like, really, dude? So you were just fucking lying in that 15-part interview where you talked about everything? Yeah, you were lying. Okay, bro. So you were lying then or lying now. And that's really like, you can't really lie about murder like that. What they're telling you, what they're representing as fact when in reality it's fiction. There's no facts. He said Davis wasn't previously charged because law enforcement knew that he was full of crap. One of the detectives' work was biased and sloppy and incomplete. And outside, Sanaf, what his lawyer, outside the court at the end of the day, uh, he thought that the 30 years that had elapsed would help Davis. The length of time going is going to be a huge problem for people trying to recall things, to remember things. That's just not how it works. Asked about the oddity of calling his client full of crap and similar things, he said, we all have a family member who's like that. Damn. So he's just like, but I mean, what else is he gonna do? He's gotta go up there and be like, he's a liar, he's a piece of shit,
Yeah.
riding for clout. I think he did it. Yeah, there's diagrams, and everybody on the diagram for who was in the car, they're all dead. People who shot him, they're all dead. So he's just in the car and orchestrated the whole thing. But it's way too specific, and like I said, it was his nephew who got beat up. It lines up, stories match. I think he gets it. I think they've been looking for a scapegoat, and not that it closes the door or the chapter on this, but it is interesting because there is nobody really arrested for Biggie's murder. There's a lot of that's like hip hop, urban legend, folklore type shit. So if they actually arrested and put somebody away for life for murdering Tupac, that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be way later, but that would be fucking pretty crazy. Because there's a lot of people that have been waiting for something to happen with this or didn't think it was being taken serious. And honestly, it wasn't. If you've interviewed this guy multiple times, he's doing the fucking podcast circuit, the trashy hip hop podcast circuit, admitting that he did this, and you're just now getting this guy 30 years later. I mean, it's almost like he's begging to get caught. That's like BTK, like getting away with murdering a bunch of people and then going to his local library and like sending some wild floppy disk with a letter on it to talk shit because it's like people forgot about me. And then that's how BTK got caught, is because they traced the metadata back to the public library, and he checked in on the computer, and that's the only way they caught that guy, is because he couldn't shut the fuck up about what he did. That's just part of it. So I think there's so much truth to what he says because he's got to get it out. That's his legacy. That's like his magnum opus. Is like, I'm the person that killed Tupac. That's why he can't shut up about it, because he
Yeah.
hasn't done anything else other than that with his life. So
Yeah.
that's his cool thing. And now everybody who thought he was cool because they knew that he did it, but they weren't going to say anything, now he's in a room, an empty room, and everybody's just like, why do you still go by Keefe D or 63 and your name's Dwayne? Like, shut up. Dwayne Davis. You're right though. I mean, I don't. It's like it's the same. You see that with a lot of people. Suge Knight's the same way, and he has this little like podcast from prison he was doing, and all these interviews, and admitting to all these other crazy things that he's done now because like nobody gives a fuck. So he's gotta like own the shit that makes him like a part of the lore. Now he's gotta like rehash it and let me tell you my side. It's like, well, yeah, you were a piece of shit, Suge. Like everybody knew that. Like half of why Tupac got murdered is because you were such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, and you enabled him to do crazy shit because you're a piece of shit. You weren't like protecting your artist. Like, get out of here, right? So, kind of the same thing. But definitely interesting to see this going on. Pay attention to it. If he does get convicted, that's going to be big news. It's going to be global news. I don't think it'll have the same impact as it would if it was like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But I don't think that's like a, one of the people on the Mount Rushmore of like American hip hop being killed. And depending on who you talk to, like one of the, like if you had a Mount Rushmore of most influential artists from different genres, so you did like country and you did pop and you did rock and you did hip hop, there's a lot of people that would be like, that would say it'd be blasphemous to not put Tupac on that Mount Rushmore to represent that entire genre as a whole. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is like the equivalent of like someone shooting Elvis and then them figuring out who shot Elvis. People would have freaked the fuck out. I remember when he was killed. I mean, we were kids, but that was a big deal. That was a really big deal when Tupac got shot. Like my parents talked about it. They did not like Tupac, but that was still a very big
My
deal.
300-pound offensive lineman babysitter MG told me that I was like 9 or 10, that Tupac was still alive.
Oh, he's in Cuba. With Castro, baby. Article number 3. I just thought this was very interesting and weird. Suspect in creepy Chucky style mask wanted in Philadelphia after chasing jogger. The picture's terrifying. Police asked for the public's help Tuesday to find a person who they've named. They said donned a Chucky style horror mask and made threatening comments while chasing a woman near City Hall at 5:30 in the morning. Like, what the fuck? Wednesday, a 40-year-old female jogger in athletic wear was chased by a masked offender in a Chucky mask. The masked person held a phone in front of the woman and repeatedly asked, "Are you ready to die?" What is going on? Why do you think like these are people that get shot? Like, and if it's a prankster, this is like the stupidest shit ever. Like, this is how you get shot.
City Hall, that's where Rocky ran up the steps.
The offender made threatening comments as they approached, causing the complainant to stumble and sustain an injury. Minutes earlier, the masked person had been spotted harassing pedestrians near 15th and Chestnut Street, and being denied service at a Dunkin' Donuts location. So he was like running around. The masked person was carrying a distinctive blue plaid backpack and was last seen ducking into a suburban station. Police believe that he is like 5'8", between 16 and 20 years old, wearing a white baby doll style Halloween mask with black hair and a backpack, or Chucky doll style face. Super. I don't get this, man. Like, people got enough shit going on. You got to go run around at 5:30 in the morning, dress up like Chucky, some saw shit, and just harassing people. Like I said, this is how people
Maybe
get
it was for
shot.
the gram. Maybe it was for the gram.
If it was, yeah, well, I wouldn't be posting it online. The whole city of Philadelphia is looking for you. Like I don't like.
Doubt it.
You don't think?
Nah, dude, go to Kensington, man. Like they got worse problems.
Nah, one of my homies, one of my really good friends, was murdered in Philly. It was like my boy. He was selling sneakers out front of his house. Some dude came to pick him up, and he got murdered and shot in front of his house. And they still haven't caught that guy. And there's like video. It's like all super fucked up, and they still haven't caught that guy. So I mean, so fuck Philly PD.
Fuck.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, nah, for reals. Like, it's South Philly too. Um, yeah, the suspect was charged. Well, there's no serious injury and had some similarities to a scary situation in St. Louis last week. And a 15-year-old boy was accused of stabbing a 78-year-old man to death while wearing a creepy clown mask. The suspect was charged with murder in the John Wesley Allen, whose body was found near the bus stop in St. Louis. I do think, and this is true, that there are weird Discord Reddit groups that get these kids to do this shit though. I do think that maybe these don't match up, but there it has been really weird. There's weird like take your own life groups that push these
Yeah.
kids into doing that stuff, push these
Yeah.
kids into doing shit like this. It's super fucking weird and gross. So I wouldn't be shocked if there was some like online crossover, not to sound like some boomer ass bitch, but I do think like that there are such private volatile toxic spaces that have always existed on the internet, and now the accessibility to them is so much easier. um that I do think they suck in a lot of young people, especially young dudes, and get them to do stupid shit like this because they think it's funny, don't care about the ramifications, don't care about if they get in trouble. There was a YouTube prankster who got shot at the mall fucking with somebody who was a DoorDash driver, and he got shot. The DoorDash driver dude just like pulled out a gun, shot him in the middle of the food court at the mall because the dude kept harassing him, and that kid got in trouble for harassing him, and the guy who shot him got in no trouble because this dude's fucking harassing him, and he got shot in the stomach, got out of the hospital, had to go to court. Everybody's dragging his ass because you got like shot by the DoorDash driver when you were fucking with him to run some prank, and that's just like this falls right into that barrel, but it's pretty fucking cringe. I just thought it was interesting because I was like, I had like a Chucky mask running around Philly, fucking Philly in a Chucky mask, chasing people down the street, asking them if you want to die. You could do that to 5 people. One of them's gonna turn around and be like, "Do you want to die?" Like that's
Yeah.
exactly what they're gonna say, and they mean it. They're you are their 13th reason. You that is
They've
happening.
been waiting for this moment.
That is happening to you right now. That has got the stupidest shit. That's like I don't even know. It's like walking around and being like, "Oh, I was at O Block and I was just openly asking if anybody has drugs or if they wanted to fight." And people will be like, "Dude, you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you. What are you doing?" Like you might get away with that once or twice, but that's gonna blow up in your face. Last article: South Korea must brace for the worst case scenario. President Lee says as Trump cuts military drills. This popped up a couple days ago. Keeps getting worse because Trump's got a good relationship with Kim Jong Un, and South Korea didn't help us out too much with Iran. We're
Not too
now
much. Yeah. Yeah.
not
They
help
didn't
us
want
out
to.
as much as they wanted.
They didn't want us to. They didn't want to join the stupid war. So
Now we're going to be drawing back our military presence in South Korea, which is
our drills and our
our
presence.
drills, and like that's been
We have
like a
35,000 troops there. We have nuclear weapons there, and we started doing military drills with the South Koreans in the 50s, like right after the Korean War, and we've been doing it ever since.
well, not anymore because we've got beef because you didn't do what we wanted. Now we're going to punish you with an imminent threat that's been knocking on your door for the entirety of your existence. That's what we're going to do because that
Yep.
sounds like a great idea. Super fucking petty. It's not shocking. Actually, you know what? Actually, no. I think that this is a little bit shocking to people because this is such.
It's not surprising. It's shocking.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say I'm surprised by it, but it's shocking because this is such a hard pivot on something that is at this point almost as American as apple pie, like not buddying up with North Korea and not and having a defined stance on where we stand on their conflict is partially what keeps the peace. I mean, South Korea is like a technology information hub. I think that we depend on South Korea probably more than we give them credit for. I think our public does. I don't think people understand like how much good shit comes actually out of South Korea. They're
Right. I mean, if you think about Korea, you're thinking about Japan and Germany, and then Vietnam is like, it's on its way up, but those three, it was three of the biggest economies in the world, and it was like places we went to war with, but then like became democracies and like we helped build up. um, yeah, like and also the check on North Korea is also a check on China. It's like a buffer state. Um, yeah, Trump's a fucking idiot too.
well, and that's why it's also shocking is this is a pivot. This lets you know that like, and not to be like overly political. I have people be like, "You're biased because you just don't like him." I'm like, I don't like him because I think he's dumb. But a stray away from what we view as like American values in the sense that like we are anti this like that style of regime that lets you know how he feels about that regime and the things that they do to the people that work there. I mean, buddying up to people where they go missing because they're in like smash rock prison camps. I mean, the stuff that they do in
He's
the
never
human.
met a dictator that he doesn't like.
Yeah, but like if
The
there's
more
one
the
that
more brutal, the more brutal, the better.
no, I know, and this is like just
Think
over
about
the
it.
top with that.
The Saudis, the Emiratis, the Egyptians, Russia, China, North Korea. These are all his homies.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if there's one dictator you should really hate, it's probably this guy. It's
Kind of
probably him.
one dictator would party with.
Who Un? You'd party with the
It's
Unster.
so funny. I almost wore my Kim Jong Un shirt today on the pod.
I have my Gucci Il Sung shirt. I mean, I when I saw this, I was like, oh my god,
But
like
he tried
this.
to do this. He tried to do this before in his first term.
Yeah, and it didn't go so it didn't work out. But now he's just doing it because he learned in his
That's
first term if he tries to go through the proper channels, it's no one's gonna let him do it. So he's just gonna fucking do it and see if it sticks.
yeah,
Like he's throwing ketchup at the wall.
literally.
But I was shocked because this is just such this is like the antithesis of like the issue with this administration, with the direction that our government's going. I mean, you could talk about Todd Blanche trying to say like trying to draw back Watergate reforms to try to do all this weird shit. He's like 10 times worse than everybody said he was going to be. Fuck you, John Cornyn. But this is representative like on an international stage in a different type of way how we feel about stuff or how this administration feels about it. um One of the
Yeah,
worst deals we've ever seen, and it's crazy, and it's all because you didn't get your way. So we're watching him make this really bad geopolitical decision based off of his feelings being hurt because they didn't want to go and do it into like a to make another bad geopolitical decision with you.
maybe
It's
the worst. Maybe the worst one we've made since fucking
yeah,
Vietnam.
it's really it just compounds the issue and makes it look worse. And then when you think about the country that we're doing it with, that makes it even worse. And it
And
puts him in a
it
worse light
and
because, like you said, he loves dictators. So then it's like now if he says, I don't, or oh no, that's not the intention, like that is the intention with this. There is no other way to shake it out like that.
another problem is that South Korea and Japan still have beef because of Japan used to when they were imperialist Japan, they would uh they would take women from South Korea and make them like their sex slaves and shit. And so there's like tension, always been historic tension between those two countries. And then if the United States is pulling out of South Korea, like the sentiment of in Japan and South Korea to have nukes was like very, very low. Now I think it's 50-50 in South Korea. They're definitely going to get a nuke if we leave. because North Korea has nukes, and then if South Korea has nukes, Japan's gonna want to get nukes, and now we just have a whole proliferation, which we're trying to stop. The whole point is to like keep the fucking peace.
To de-escalate.
Yeah, so it's like we're gonna put South Korea in a fucking position, and then it's gonna be a domino effect, and that's what we've been trying to avoid for 75 fucking years.
And then it'll be like, well, should they have one? Then we're gonna try to like. That's just like, yeah, it's like
No,
it's.
it doesn't matter. They'll just do it.
Oh, I know. I mean, the smart countries just do it, and then they announce to the world they have it
Right,
after they
but
have
like
it.
South Korea's not a rogue country. Like they just, it's just gonna be a thing that they're gonna
Essential
have to
to
do.
their survival.
And they have. It's not like they don't have like nuclear technology already. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't. Yeah,
No, but it's essential to their survival. But then we're
right.
creating a
But it,
scenario where they're gonna
but
have
in
to have it.
Japan, it's such like a third rail like issue. It's like that they would never have a nuclear weapon. They didn't even have an offensive army. They just had a defensive, and that was part of kind of like the rules. And they spent 1% on like their defensive army, and then now they're buying offensive weapons and doubling it to 2% of their GDP, which it's like, oh, it's only 2%. No, they just doubled the amount of money they spend on the military. Japan, the guys who attacked, World War II dudes. Germany, same thing. It's like, we have 30,000 troops in Germany. It's like there's reasons for this because when the Germans and the Japanese start to be militarized, things don't go well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all I got, man, for articles.
All right, y'all. Meditate, bitches.
Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, share, retweet, flicker, post. Always like and subscribe if you love Jesus. Christ coin.
Especially if you love Jesus.
Christ coin. It's out there on the blockchain. Pick it up. But no, we do appreciate y'all checking us out and listening as always. Just please remember to be good, stay out of trouble, be safe. It's hot. Stay inside. Or go touch some grass. Always just be good and go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.